lot of fucking likes and stuff. But that means they see her shit too.
Alright, what's going on, guys? The stream should be live now. Make sure my mic's on. Yeah, we're good. You guys are on Twitch. Make sure to refresh. I'll type it in chat. How's everybody doing today? Pretty slow day, honestly. Scanners were pretty slow. Not a whole lot of momentum, not a whole lot of volume coming in on a lot of things. Pretty much the same stuff that we've been talking about past week, 2 weeks, are basically what's been running today. Etsy was running, Micron, Roku, NIO. NIO on fire today. Hit both of our day trade targets, 53 and then 53.75. Roku blew through our 437 target. Next target on that was 450. And then I believe basically just the high. Yeah, 486.
Sup, friends? Apple's going again, trying to reclaim 37.
How's that guy's options doing?
That resistance right now.
Which ones did he buy? He bought the 144s or some shit?
Yeah, I didn't pick up those. Those is a little kind of
A little ballsy.
Yeah, I picked up the 141s for next week.
I think he had the July 9th 144s. Let me see. What's going on, Pancho? Yeah, AMD had a pretty good day. A lot of calls coming in on that. I saw that on the scanner basically all day. We called this out right at the bell. I told you guys it was the only thing getting a power alert right at the bell. The power alerts right like 9:30, 9:35 on Cheddar are the ones you want to pay attention to. Like it came in right here, a little late, 9:46, but pretty much right at the open, and that thing was moving.
Yeah, HUT is. This shit just started moving. I guess Bitcoin's moving a little bit or something.
I think Bitcoin's just ranging. Let's see. It's coming back down a little bit. Still back below the 21 EMA. Well, unfortunate. Yeah, BBBY had a really good day. And their short float is getting really, really high. Oh, holy shit, that thing moved. I called this out in the morning when it was like 33, 34. That thing went to 39 almost. Big, big day. So the short float on this is 65%. So it's definitely getting some short action. The scanner called this out. If you guys watch the scanner stream, man, I'm telling you, free money. Scanner called this out at 31.37. Basically right at the bell, it started calling this thing out. And then it kept calling it out all the way up to 39. It is the only thing on the short squeeze scanner today. Yeah, the shipping companies that I was talking about, they're all coming back. ZIM had a nice little bounce today, 3.5. MATX not yet, but all the other ones are bouncing. DAC, NMM. I'm keeping an eye on this. This is probably gonna be my next buy. CCL is burying me on those leaps, but I'm not too deep in those. My retail position looks like it's getting ready to start ripping too, because we have an SR flip up here. You're flipping resistance into support. Very nice bounce today. If this goes to like 100, 103, we're gonna get paid. This was my second largest position, but then I closed half my shares on Costco at 400. Very, very good close. I think it was like technically 398 or some 397, 399, somewhere around there. We closed them yesterday. But because I closed half my shares on that, the retail position is now the biggest. Yeah, we were actually talking about PAL. We called it out in the morning in Discord. We were talking about ammo, like actual ammo in real life. We were talking about buying ammo, but it's really fucking expensive right now. Like if you're looking at range ammo for a 9mm, before Corona you could get them for less than 30 cents, easy, and now they're going for closer to 40. But yeah, the stock ammo is doing really well. Broke above the 925 pivot, which is also a double pivot. And if we can hold above this previous all-time high around $10, looks pretty good. A little extended though. They have earnings. Or they actually had earnings yesterday. Never mind. So should be okay. Yeah, the ammo's gone up a lot. What's going on, JJ and Alan? Good to see you guys.
XPEV looks like it wants to climb on the day.
It's awesome that you guys can buy guns over there in the U.S. It's the American dream, baby. The American dream.
Not necessarily the American dream, just the American way.
Yeah.
We got a hut high day for 40. Just trying to get $5.
Is that
That's
are you talking about HUT?
Yes, sir.
Is that like a mining company?
Canadian. I think it's Canadian mining for Bitcoin.
You know, obviously times change and stuff, but the Second Amendment was put in there because we had no army at the time and people needed to defend themselves from everybody. And of course, since then, the Supreme Court has ruled that that includes our right to protect our homes and everything. But at the time, it was so people could form militias, have protect themselves from anybody, whether it be the government or invaders or whoever. And then come to look at it now, all this time later, and it's just like a staple of our country, really.
It's like maple syrup for Canada, guns for America.
Yo, if this pulls a Mara,
Yeah, the EDU thing is not working out right now, Poncho. But the thing with lottos is, I was telling people in Discord, you have to be willing to accept that chop. Because I said this on Discord, or I said this on stream. If the EDU contracts are going to pay, it's going to be one random ass day that it just pumps. It's not going to be like a steady move up. It's going to be one random ass day that it jumps up like 10%. So you just you got to hold on to it and just hope that that 10% day comes before it expires.
yeah, Apple's on the 30-minute panic.
Look at AMD.
Yeah, Apple is really just disgusting. The OTS does very, very well on big tech companies, and when it turned from black to white on Apple, it was basically donezo, just going to go straight up. That's what it did. 21 crossed the 50, trend is holding, broke the local resistance. It's not bad.
It's going to 140 at least, I think.
Yes, sir. Hey, C's is back.
I think every big tech will have a new all-time high before the year is over. We've already had an all-time high on Amazon. We've had one on Facebook. We're waiting on all the other ones. Netflix, Amazon, Microsoft and Facebook. We're waiting on Amazon, Netflix, and Apple.
Have you seen how insane NVIDIA has gotten?
That's what happens when something consolidates for fucking 9 years, dude. The thing consolidated for, let's see, 273 days.
It's at 804, man.
270 days of consolidation for how many days of up? It's been going up for 30 days.
I still remember I charted it like a month ago, and it already had made its move, and I was just like, "Oh man, I'm gonna chase it." And I've been sitting here this whole time wondering when it's gonna come back down, and it's just been going straight up for the past month or two.
Well, you're not hearing much about the chip shortages anymore. That's why all the chip companies are doing very well. Like, look at SMH, the index, or the ETF, I mean.
Come on, bro. How does this stock just keeps going up, bro? Roku's a monster.
Roku's unstoppable, dude.
Holy shit, Roku's at 460.
It's already the same price as Netflix. I didn't think it was actually gonna do this all in 2 weeks.
Straight up, it literally had two red days. 2 red days in the past 2 weeks.
Wow.
That Micron guy is still getting paid on his options.
Yeah, bro. I was just about to say he knew exactly what he was doing.
Yeah. I think, what was it, the August 20th, 7750s? Or was it November? I think it was August. Yeah, he's up almost 100%. He bought him at 5, they're at 9.
What's the ticker for that the Taiwanese semiconductor?
TSM.
That one looks like it could go.
I think he actually sold some this morning. It looks like he sold some contracts. The Micron guy.
Jesus, the Microsoft, this is 220. It's like all tech the last couple weeks, man. Is booming.
Hut, Johnny just got some calls. $5 calls coming in, 716.
Let's go. I got some leaps. The leaps are up like 10% this morning.
Some poor man's lottos coming in. EWZ, $41 calls, July 9th.
Dude, those things come in every single day.
The EWZ ones?
Yeah.
AMD's at 94.
Hey, check out Airbnb, man. This thing's about to fucking blow.
That block trade came in earlier. The thing was doing well.
Look at NIO and Apple. And
oh, yeah. The daily on Airbnb is really good.
I got in that a little early. I think I just broke even today on it. No, I'm still down.
If it closes like this, I might pick up some shares. God damn it, I keep messing up my highlighter.
Apple's trying to push. Let's go.
Yeah, I think I'm going to grab some shares on this if it closes like this.
Yeah, it's clean.
Bro, we continue going up with Apple. That guy was smart.
Oh, he's deep, too. He bought 5,000 contracts.
On what, Apple?
Yeah, he bought some lottos. Let me find them. 144 for July 9th. He bought them at 12 cents.
Wow.
They're back to his entry right now. So he did really well. They went up to 16. So he was up, what, 20 grand. And they pulled back to 12 now. They're complete lottos. They have 6 delta.
CCIV ramping up too right now. I think CCIV though caps out at like 29ish. You got the anchored VWAP from the all-time high there.
Damn, look at Airbnb on the 5-minute today, dude. The thing went straight up.
When does it change ticker? Isn't it going to be LCID soon?
Yeah, soon.
Kind of sucks to buy Airbnb here on the low time frames, but the daily is really clean. Low time frames is a little toppy.
The daily, if it closes like this, it's going to close above the range. It'll be the highest close in this range.
And it's closing above the 50 for the first time since like March of last year. Or March of this year, sorry. And this is what we always talk about with the IPOs. They like try to go up, they fucking sell off, put in like a wedge, and they break the wedge.
Yeah, I'm still down on my position because I picked it up early, but I still have 16 days and I'm not down. I'm down 40%.
Hard to draw a trend line. That's a decent trend line. It's more horizontals.
It like
Yeah.
failed its trend line but reclaimed it.
Yeah. Yeah, the local trend line, definitely. Where's the anchored VWAP on this one? Oh, look at the anchored VWAP, 161. So that'd be an obvious target. And then if we... all-time high, yeah. And then if we reclaim that, easily getting 180. Where's the IPO anchored VWAP? Same spot, look at that. 160, 161.
Yeah, nice.
So that would be an obvious target.
Yeah, that'll be where I close my shit.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, like I said, I think it might pull back tomorrow, like short term. Like the short terms don't look good. But if you're just swing trading, who cares? The daily looks really good. What's the 3-day look like? Yeah, 3 days really good too. 3 days right on the 21 EMA though. Sorry,
DCIV
guys.
ripping, dude, ripping.
Catch up on... Oh, it's all over my scanners, yep.
What is?
It broke that level, CCO, that level I gave you guys at 27 and a quarter.
Anchored VWAP at 29.13.
Let me catch up
Apple
with
start.
chat, guys. Let's see.
Apple's starting to push.
What's Apple doing in the medical sector, Poncho? What are you talking about? Can you take a look at Billy and Baidu? Billy.
I mean, I could kind of answer that. Apple, they made they're opening up health facilities.
Oh, nice.
Fucking Apple, I feel
Yeah.
like adds a new business every fucking day.
They have a lot of health data already too with their watches and stuff.
That's another thing that they're gonna add on. They're trying to trying to add something to their Apple watches as well. That was like a new update.
What was
I
the
didn't even-
recent? What was the recent company that recently crossed over 1 trillion?
Facebook.
Facebook. That's what I was thinking.
Billy is coming back to a daily pivot. It has to hold this level, so 121. It has to hold. If it loses that, not good. And then Baidu, that's still climbing, I think. It's got slowly consolidating a little bit, but it had a bunch of calls come in towards the low, so those guys are still being aggressive. This is pulling back to retest the range high. So you have the range high on June 1st, and you have the pivot way back on March 29th. So as long as you hold here, this is going for another leg. And go for like 217. It's putting in a pivot though, hard to see. It's putting in a new pivot today. This will be the first pivot since February 11th.
Check out this pullback on Fubo, bouncing off support.
Yep. 21 EMA below you and the VWAP. Bob said, hey, Deja, how do you know if you're paying a good price for call options? That's honestly, it's all about the chart, really. You got to see if the chart's extended. You also have to look at the implied volatility. If the implied volatility is very high compared to what it normally is, you're not getting a good price because they're expensive. With options, if you're buying naked, right, the biggest thing that goes into their pricing is going to be the implied volatility. So if the implied volatility is very high compared, like, let's say with Apple right now, Apple, the July 9th contracts, they have 16% implied volatility, which is very low. If that implied volatility was, say, 50%, those contracts would be a lot more expensive. So you have to figure out, like, if the implied volatility is a lot higher than it typically is. And by doing... To look for that, you have to look at like IV percentile or IV rank. Tastyworks has an IV rank. I think a lot of the other brokers do the IV percentile. The higher the IV rank, the more volatile it is compared to its typical range. Another thing I like to do is when you're charting options, like when you're actually charting the physical option, like let me show you an example on like SPY. Like let's go to SPY. We'll do today's contract for 428. So what I like to do is I like to add a Bollinger Band onto my chart for the actual option. So like if we're looking at this, I have a Bollinger Band on here, and I try not to buy if it's like outside the upper band because it's too extended. Bollinger Bands are like the most simple indicator to figure out if something is extended or not. And the best way to do this with a Bollinger Band is you offset it by one candle. You push it forward by one candle. So if you don't do that with a Bollinger Band, and I'll show you on here. If you don't offset a Bollinger Band, it's going to give you a lot of hindsight analysis. You can still use a Bollinger Band. Like I used the Bollinger Band for many years without an offset. But the problem with doing this is, like, in hindsight, these look very easy to trade. Like, oh, just sell when it's outside the Bollinger Band, buy when it's outside the bottom, right? That's in hindsight, though, because when those moves are actually happening, the Bollinger Band is expanding to adapt to that move. So, like, when this is pushing down, the Bollinger Band was expanding downward to adapt. And then when it pulled back, it came back up. Go ahead.
Donald Rumsfeld just passed away.
Who is that?
He used to
The
be air defense.
yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. When you offset it one candle, you make sure that when it goes outside that band, it is actually going outside the band, because the band is not adapting to the current price as it normally would. So the band is going to adapt to the current price, but it's going to do it one bar into the future. So for the next candle, then the band will be adapted. So it makes trading these exits not just hindsight analysis.
Rumsfeld and Cheney were like the big masterminds of the whole Iraq thing.
So yeah, long story short, use a Bollinger Band and just make sure to not buy when it's outside the band. That's for the actual options contract, not for like the stock itself.
Buy in red days, sell on green days.
Yeah. Buy low, sell high.
Rumsfeld was there when I was on active duty. He was technically my chain of command.
Airbnb tanking, it's only down like $1, dude.
Apple's making high days.
Thought I was about to
Call
get
that- Call that tanking?
Oh, he said it glitched and said it was at 140. Shit, I would have bought it instantly at 140. It's topping out though. I think short term it's going to pull back, but it doesn't matter because the daily is going to close really strong. Like, this is a very easy trade because your stop loss is very obvious. You just put your stop loss below the candle. So like a $10 stop loss. So then you're targeting like at least $10. So the VWAP's going to run into you a little early, $7.50 away. But I would be targeting like VWAP, $24. So that's a 2.4 to 1 trade. Like if I take this trade, it's going to look like this. Stop loss below the candle, targeting VWAP.
You know what I just realized?
You have a small wiener.
Volume spiking on NIO. I got out of NIO, dude. It would, if I didn't get out of my credit, it would bury me. What made me sad though is in my head, because I closed all my shares at 43. In my head, I thought I had like X amount of shares. I had like double as many shares as I thought I did. So I would have made a fucking killing if I would have held on to what I was actually targeting. I was targeting 50.
It's been in a perfect channel this whole time.
Hut is pushing, bro. It's actually pushing to $5. Let's go.
What's going on, Dime?
Perfect.
Plug is hitting resistance. Has to get above that pivot or it's going to pull back to the trend. Snapchat looks really good. Closing above the pivot, probably going to continue higher.
Oh, target's already at 242.
Snapchat was another one of the ones that I let go too early. We had a really good trade on Snapchat that I got a little antsy on. Snapchat and NIO both. Well, NIO already is, I think. NIO is my biggest trade of the year. But NIO and Snapchat, if I would have held them to my full potential, they would easily be the biggest trades of the year. Nothing even comes close.
You know what my biggest trade of the year is?
Not silver, that's for sure.
No. CCIV.
If Costco gets to 410, this will also be one of my biggest trades, but I've already closed half. So it's not going to be too big.
Speaking of which, I canceled my car order. They said they were gonna. It was not gonna be until like next year or something.
Do they charge you a fee or anything?
It's a refundable deposit I had to put down.
Gotcha. Roku, dude, is on fire.
But I was like, I'm not gonna sit here and wait till next year.
This was one of our biggest trades too, actually. We had a really big lotto on Roku. Look at this thing go. Beautiful.
Did that Netflix news hit?
Ethereum's running. Let's take a look. Yeah, it's up a little bit. Not doing too bad. Back to the middle of the range. Very obvious trade for you guys that use my accumulation technique. Very obvious buy. You would be selling on the 50, and then you could sell on the upper range. CLNE, let's take a look. Pulled back a little bit, but that's just due to low volume, really. Nobody's buying it. But it has a daily buy signal here on the OTS. What's the bot say about it? The bot is actually giving you a sell signal today, so unless it climbs here, it's actually giving you a sell signal, which is pretty weak. If it closes like this, but then bounces tomorrow with confirmation, then it looks pretty decent. One thing that I didn't see, if I would have seen this, I probably would have held on to my NIO shares. Where's NIO? It had a weekly buy signal. This weekly buy signal was very, very strong. The last time it gave a weekly buy signal was way back here, when it was like $3.50, and it went all the way up to 67. The daily buy was really good too. I think that's the day we actually bought. Yeah, it's about the day that we bought. I think we used the daily buy signal. If I listened to the bot, you would have been still holding. One that hasn't broken out as much as NIO that looks really good is XPEV. Weekly buy on that as well, daily buy as well. Resistance coming in on the bot. But that resistance is an ascending triangle, so that looks really good. As long as we can get above that like 46 area, should do very well. There are different strategies, Lavender. So the OTS buy signal is a dip signal. It's like a pullback buy. The bot is more of a trend volatility indicator. So if the bot is giving a sell, that means that the trend is shifting more into a bearish trend with the volatility. if it's giving a buy on the OTS, all that means is it's pulling back to support and showing a little bounce off support. Yeah, it's definitely one of the most helpful ones that I've built, Dirty. The OTS is exceptional. It cleans your charts up as much as it can. Like if you guys see my my candle colors, that's from the OTS. So like if I turn this off, look at how ugly the chart is. You see how ugly the chart is with all the back and forth, switching from green to red, green to red. I use white and black, but same thing. And then if we turn the OTS on, it cleans it up. So when you see these little shifts like this, the black to white shifts, the trend is shifting. And right now we are in a very trendy market. So like look at big tech. When big tech went from white to black, we started accumulating. Then we went from black to white, and now we're just trending upward. And basically every single big tech did this. White to black, accumulation. Black to white, impulse. Every single one. If you make a rule for yourself to only trade in the direction the OTS is telling you to trade, it will take away a lot of your losses. One, we talked about this a couple times on stream back then, but one of the big signals with Tesla, like big signals that it was going to go higher, was look at when it was accumulating here and then accumulating here. This was black the entire time, so it was very bearish. And that's why we had those big sell-offs. But this one very quickly turned back to being white because the buyers were stepping in and buying this up. So this was a very bullish accumulation. This also tried to be bullish. It tried to bounce, but it wasn't enough. And now this accumulation is very bullish, and we're getting a really nice bounce out of it.
Wow, so they released Bill Cosby already.
Kind of the same thing with Costco here. We could tell that this distribution was very bullish because it's not turning black. It turned gray, so the buyers were losing a little bit of steam, but it also had a bunch of buy signals. So we could tell that this was going to break out higher. Pretty much the same thing here with NIO. You see how NIO pops up and then it has this nasty little range here, but it stays white on the OTS pretty much the entire time. You had one little trap, but pretty much the entire distribution was white. So that told you that it wanted to go higher. The buyers were buying it up. And then it went higher. Same thing here. It's still staying white the entire time.
Apple high day.
Yeah, Apple looks really good. Tried to dip down, put in a pivot, climbed, tried to dip again, pivot, climb. Really strong. It's held the 21 on the 50-minute the whole way up. Just a beautiful uptrend. This is very healthy because it's not going straight up. You have nice consolidation, break. Consolidation, break. Consolidation, break. So if it wants to be healthy here, most likely tomorrow, you'd want to see a little bit of consolidation or maybe like a short-term bull flag, pull back a little bit. Do you ever use TPO to see order flow and market structure? Only for scalping, really. TPO and volume profile I use mainly for scalping, or if I'm doing like intraday trading on futures.
Ethereum is moving up a little.
That's on FCX. Let's take a look.
The only thing disappointing today is freaking Tesla.
FCX is trying to claim some higher momentum here. Momentum is climbing, but the price action is not really giving you a lot of confluence. You'd want the price action to be a little stronger. You definitely want to reclaim the 21 around 38. This looks like it could be a little fake out, where it makes it look like it's a bull flag, wants to break higher, but it has to get above the 21 or it's going to get quickly sold off. CCJ, the uranium company, let's see. Very similar chart. I do like how CCJ is holding a pivot though. You have a pivot way back here that calls you to push higher here. And now you're on the pivot and VWAP and the 50 really. So this is a very key point on the chart.
Yo, Deja, that guy's getting paid, bro.
The Apple guy?
Yeah, bro. And Micron guy.
Yeah, I like how the guy that I'm following this week on EDU is not getting paid. What a dickhead. But yeah, this breaks like 1950. This would look a lot better, because then you're reclaiming most of the local resistance. And then I'd be obviously targeting the pivot up here around 21. Pretty weak though. It's gray on the OTS instead of black, which is better. But there's no buyers just yet.
Apple's breaking higher right now. It's making high days consecutively.
Yeah, Apple's on fire.
You think Nvidia's gonna pull back anytime soon?
It should, but looking at AMD and SMH, the semiconductors are getting their legs back.
You hear my dogs in the background
Yeah.
howling at something.
Funny, my little chihuahua does that when the fire trucks pass.
One starts here and then they all go.
Steel doesn't look too good. Steel looked a lot better when it was holding that uptrend, but as soon as it lost that uptrend, pretty much everything around here is bearish. You're below the monthly VWAP, which is signaling that it's weakening. What was the other one we were looking at? It was CLF or one of the other ones that had a really nice uptrend. Yeah, CLF. So this is the better steel play. It's holding the uptrend. Doge, I haven't looked at Doge in months. We sold the top on that. Damn near the top.
I'm asking about Nvidia because I got in on some shares when at 572. I'm thinking about selling and picking them up again when it gets down.
So we jokingly Well, it was a joke, but it was one of those jokes in crypto that we knew was going to work. We took a pretty big position on Doge before the Saturday Night Live skit, and we said it was going to top out at 69 cents just because it was a meme. And it literally topped out at 69 cents and then it nuked. And then it had one last little trap above 69, and then they got wrecked, and then it's just straight down since then. But it is getting some buyers, not too bad. But you're below the 21 and you're below the 50, so it's dog shit right now. To even look slightly better, you have to get above the 21. To look way better, you got to get above the 50. Are you technically breaking this downtrend? So you're breaking the downtrend, but it's more of a time break, a consolidation break, not a momentum break. If we took this one here, what's this one look like? That one's a little better. That one's a little better. If it holds above this trend here, you could start to pop into like 35. If you bought anything above like 50, it's going to be a very long time before you get that back. You could get like 30 back pretty soon. 42 maybe. Getting 50 back is going to be very hard. Apple's finally pulling back.
Deja,
What's up?
can you look at FSLY on the daily and weekly? I'm wondering if it failed the
Oh, that thing looked fantastic this morning and then it died.
yeah.
No, it's still on that level. 58.75. But yeah, that's a dirty candle. I called this out in the morning too. It looked good. Looked really good in the morning. It had some call flow too. Where was it? Let me see. They were buying the 63s.
Because I'm wondering if you like on the weekly it's hit the trail, hit resistance and bounced off that.
Let me take a look. Oh yeah, it hit the 21 as well. Maybe a little micro pullback up here. So it might be choppy for the next 2 days.
Mm.
63, those calls that those guys were buying, that's where it needs to break. Needs to get above 63 and hold.
There's a gross daily candle.
Yeah, the daily's not good. Definitely not. How's Airbnb holding up? Yeah, Airbnb actually looks pretty good. Could probably buy some shares here. Yeah, I'm gonna buy some shares of Airbnb here.
Apple just got some bullish news. There it goes. It's going again.
All right, I posted the Airbnb trade into my channel. Like I said, it's probably going to pull back short term. So like if you really wanted to penny pinch, you could probably get an entry towards 150. 150, 151. But I don't really care about that small move. I'm basing my trade off the daily, and I like the daily close here. We are closing into resistance, so we're taking a little bit of a gamble here, betting that it breaks resistance. But I like to close above the 21, above the pivot, above 50, above the 50-day moving average, I mean. It's above almost every single candle on this range. And I like that it faked out people yesterday. So we have a lot of people that were like shorting recently. They're getting crushed already. So pretty clean chart. The only downside is your stop loss is like $10 away. And the closest resistance that's very strong is about $7 away. So if it fails there, the trade is not going to generate that much profit. But if it breaks above these VWAPs, then you could really get a nice profit. And you could be getting another $17, $18 just above that VWAP.
Apple's going for new high days.
What do I think about D-Dog? It's failing a pivot, so I would not touch it up here until that pivot breaks. Micron's still slow climbing. That guy that bought the options is up almost 100%. He bought them at 5. They're currently trading at around 9 or 10, I believe.
You know who else is getting paid? That guy that bought those SPY contracts. Look at Apple and SPY right now.
Oh, this morning? Yeah, that guy is definitely getting paid.
He knew what was coming.
Those lottos that I mentioned are getting paid too. I think it was the 428s. The ones that I put in the analysis, those are doing well. What's Friday? Friday's the 2nd. So July 2nd, 428s. Yeah, those are doing really well. Yeah, look at the IWL. It's basically it's like the Qs, but it's kind of like Fang. It's on fire. So tech is doing very well. Dow Jones retesting this pivot at 345. You can get above this. You could probably see like 348, 351 pretty soon. What a strong close on Roku. Very, very extended. The bot did really well on that. It bought it on May 20th and it's been holding. Very good buy. Thoughts on Disney? Let me take a look. Still accumulating, so no direction just yet. Once it reclaims the 50, then I would be interested. Which we could make an alert for this. So Disney crossing 50 once per bar close. So once it crosses the 50, that's a better chart. NIO looking strong again into the close. So far, we caught the bottom on Airbnb. If it pushes off this 21, the next like 5 minutes, that'd be nice. Strong close on Etsy as well.
Apple just did a retest.
Strong close on EDU. This thing goes for the gap fill tomorrow. Bring our options back to life at least. Hopefully that guy that we're following knows something. Hopefully we didn't follow some idiot. It's one thing about cheddar flow, you never know. You could be following the fucking worst guy at the fund. Could be following Top Tick Tommy. There's the breakout on Etsy. See, like, these are the guys that we want to follow. This guy started buying these calls way back here, 172-ish. It's at 206 now. That guy's getting paid. And then the Baidu guy, the Activision guy, the Space guy, that guy got paid. The Expedia guy, that guy got fired. Hopefully he's still alive.
What do they get paid on? Puts or calls?
Which one?
Space.
They had calls before it started pumping like that.
Isn't Richard Branson going to space before Bezos now?
Was that part of that announcement they made?
I thought they were trying to rush Richard before Bezos to space.
So we have a new space race?
Yeah, and I'm assuming rushing a space race isn't a good idea for the stock.
Probably not. Rush your CEO into space and he dies? Fucking GG.
You think buying puts like 2 or 3 days before
Shit, he could.
Bezos?
I doubt they're actually gonna send him to space though. It's gonna be a fucking faked launch.
Will the IV be higher, closer, or further away?
If you're playing volatility, you would buy leaps. You get paid more on volatility farther you go.
Okay. Even on something like Amazon that can have like a $200 move potentially.
Yeah, it's just the farther you go away, the higher the Vega. So the more you get paid per 1% of volatility change.
Okay.
Implied volatility, from what I've seen, is very, very good. Like the way they do their calculations, the implied volatility does not move as easily as you think it would. Like they are very good at predicting kind of like small spikes in volatility. But I highly doubt that Bezos himself is actually going to go to space, to be honest. They're going to fake the fuck out of that.
If they fake it, would it go down as well then?
You would never know. They have so much fucking money, they would do it perfectly. If they got caught faking it, oh yeah, dude, they'd get obliterated. What are you guys thinking, chat? You guys think that he would actually go to space? Fucking Bezos and what's the other guy's name? Branson? Faking his death so he can chill with Epstein? Dude, imagine. They send him to space so he can fake his death. That's the conspiracy. That's what it's going to be. One minute until close. You think Bezos will really go to space? Okay. I mean, if he actually is going, he's going to make sure there is like literally no risk. It's going to be done perfectly. Might have to close this might have to close this INSG position tomorrow. It's just not doing what we wanted it to. It hit that one level that we were worried about. This was like literally the last line of resistance before the short squeeze would start happening. And it just does not want to break that level. They're protecting it at all cost. So if this gets below $10, I'm just going to take my very small profit and get out. Yeah, Airbnb is actually not a bad close. It held on to the 21 EMA on the 5-minute, which is good. I like this little rounded bottom too. Nice rounded bottom. The daily's strong too. Look at that daily close. Beautiful close. Like if we take a line here from where it closed, you can see we're closing above all these candles. That is too good of a close not to take the trade. Like, even if it fails, this is a good trade. You take this trade 10 times, you're going to win like at least 6 or 7 of them. We need EDU to have that one-day spike, hopefully this week, or we're going to get buried on Theta Burn over the weekend. I like the close on retail too. This should go higher. Coinbase also had a really good close. Came down a little bit, but we recovered pretty much the entire sell-off. It didn't. Did it fill that gap? It actually did fill the gap. It didn't fill these lower gaps. It filled the local one, though. That's good. It actually had a block trade come in right at the bell. Where was it? It came in at 253.30. So basically, literally The penny that it closed on. Any cheddar flow I want to go over before we close it down? Let's see. So a lot of SPY coming in right at the close. Look at these guys. SPY calls. Or sorry, SPX calls again. And then more SPY calls. Big money on SPY calls there. 8.6 million. This guy, where was it in the morning? Where'd that guy go? I saw some SPY calls this morning. Oh, I'm filtering. I think that is the guy. This is the guy that came in the morning, 8.6. That guy got paid. And now we have these two coming in on the close. It's not bad there. You also had some NIO calls coming at the close. $56 calls for July 9th. Pretty small size. Nothing on the weeklies. You had some SPX puts come in. These are lottos, less than $1. And then XLF came in not too long ago. Pretty small size, though. $35 puts. If you guys want to try out Cheddar Flow, I am an affiliate. Here is a link you guys can use. You guys can give them a try. They do have a, I believe it's a 7-day free trial. You guys can try them out for free. I am going to end it on that, though. I'm going to do one last little subscribe alert. And then we're going to end the stream. I'm going to have some analysis coming to Discord probably later today. It's going to be earlier than yesterday, obviously, so probably around 9, 10 o'clock. Sorry, there's a fire truck going by. Yeah, so look for that around 9, 10 o'clock. Tomorrow, scanner stream starts at 9:30 in the morning if you guys want to watch my scanners. The scanner stream, they look like this. Actually, I can't really show you because I have it turned off. Let me turn it on real quick and I'll show you guys what it looks like. If you guys want to watch my scanners, oh, it's not going to do it there. Let me redo this. There we go. This is what the scanner stream looks like. If you guys want to full screen this, you can throw it up on one of your monitors, and it will basically look identical to how I have it set up on my monitor. So very short recap. It's a call scanner on the top left, short squeeze scanner below that. This is a breakout scanner, unusual activity on some kind of smaller names. This is a bounce scanner and a breakout scanner. This is a high of day scanner. These are the biggest gainers on the day, anything over 5 billion market cap. Sorry, another fire truck. You guys couldn't tell I live next to a fire station. This is another breakout scanner here. This is another high a day scanner, but this one is filtered. So this one looks for things that are trading above the 21 EMA and above the 50 moving average. So if they're uptrending and breaking high a day, they'll show up on that scanner. These are just 1-minute charts for SPY and Qs, so you can keep an eye on how the market's doing. These are block trades, anything with over 1 million shares in one order. This is a block trade, anything over 250,000 shares. These are penny stock movers. And then finally, this is the volume scanner. So it shows you the things that are getting the most volume on the day. These scanners are going to run from 9:30 until 2:55 p.m. Then we shut it down. Then we go down and go back to this stream, the analysis stream. All right, guys, that's all I got for you. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to like the video. I'll see you guys tomorrow.